My dad's always telling me, like, take out the trash and stuff.
At an accomplished 27-year-old comedian with a Netflix special?
Yeah. Sometimes I get too lazy to, like, take out the trash. I'm only, like, this last week, I was only home, like, 2 days.
Right.
I did not take out my trash. I piled it all up, and I put it up in bags and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take it down. But then, you know.
You left and did shows?
Yeah.
And came back?
And he'll send me pictures of the trash. He'll be like, how old are you?
Right.
I'm like, I'm on Netflix.
Right. Big boy neighborhood, beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. I've been waiting to get this dude in the neighborhood, man. Ralph Barbosa, welcome to the neighborhood, my brethren.
Yo, it's good to be here.
Man, pleasure to meet you, man.
I was afraid you weren't gonna call me back no more.
Oh, nah. Why is that?
You had called me when I got my wisdom teeth out.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You were like, "What's up, man? It's Big Boy," and I was like, "What's up, man?" But I couldn't really talk. I was like, "I'm sorry if I can't talk too much. I just got my wisdom teeth out." You were like, "Oh, all right then. Well, I'm gonna let you heal up, man. I'll call you another day."
And here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, I forgot that I called you when you had, but you was very polite to say, like, "Hey, man, I just got my wisdom teeth pulled," you know. And plus, did they give you any medication?
Oh yeah.
You probably would have said some crazy stuff, bro. Because I don't do well with medication. Even when my boy Jose know if I had to do a procedure or something, I'd be like, Jose, take my phone, bro, because I f around and either gave somebody some money I'm not supposed to give them, or said something crazy racist or something. You know what I'm saying?
They should have took my phone. There's a lot of dumb text and pictures in the group chat with my buddies. From like right when they finished the operation.
That they have still?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, man. Yeah, you got to be careful on pictures and communications, bro. And that stuff never go away. Like my text messages, Ralph, I keep mine on save forever. You know how some of them can delete? I'm like, nah, bro. Like, nope. I'm going to pull that picture up from whenever it was in that phone.
I didn't know there was an option called save forever.
Yeah, like mine. You don't. Yeah, some you could like let it go a month or you can let it go a year. Nah, bro, I bring up something old on you, just bring it up in your face. Like, nah, this is what you said.
I'm going to be careful when I text with you.
Hey, man, but first off, welcome to the neighborhood, man. I've been waiting for you to get into the neighborhood, bro.
Oh, it's nice to be here.
Yeah, man, and for one, my first introduction to you, of course, man, you know, you see certain things on social media. I had a chance to get to a live show or anything, but I just saw, like, just the buzz, bro, and I would see so much on you that it was almost like some DM stuff where I reached out. You know, but had you always been like the guy that wanted to do comedy, Ralph?
Yeah.
Really though?
Yeah.
Was comedy in your household, or was it just one of them things where you always knew that you was like the funny guy?
I was a funny guy with like
for free.
Yeah, I was for free for a long time.
Yeah, man.
Growing up, maybe like half the time I had to get comfortable with people. Like high school, maybe half the people knew me as like the funny guy. Other half of the people knew me as the guy who just kept his head down in class.
Right. Were you so-called shy?
Yeah. First day of school was like the day that I tried out being the funny guy in each class. And if they laughed, then I'm like, all right, I'm the funny guy in this class.
Right.
You keep it up.
You know how people be the king of the school? Like, oh, that's the king of the school. You know, he's like, oh, that's the funny guy in the class.
Yeah. But if they didn't laugh, then I'm like, all right, I'm just never going to speak for like the rest of this whole semester. Like,
hey, man, but it's a difference, Ralph, between being the funny guy. You know how some guys are like the funny one in the hood or the neighbor, you know, they're in all the bag, whatever it may be. There's a difference between taking that and moving that over to stand-up comedy.
That's the first hard lesson when you do comedy.
Yeah, man.
Is learning that it's different.
Yeah, because you could be funny with the homies. And like people say to me all the time, like I host comedy shows, I throw them as well. And people say, man, you need to do comedy. But there's a difference, and not that I short dog myself, but I say, man, you know, like your special, right? You look at your special, you'll say, oh, okay, you know, that's an hour. In an hour, I can make you laugh within the hour, but I can't make you laugh for an hour. And there's a difference between what I feel like the craft is. So when you go from just being the guy that's funny in class, funny with the homies, when did you get that bug where you wanted to get on stage?
I wanted to be like a comedic actor, and I went to a community college to take acting classes, and my acting teacher was just kind of like, you know, why are you doing this?
Right. So do you walk in like the Ralph that we'll see on either like a stand-up or anything where you just like a little, hey, I just kind of want to try this?
Yeah, I just signed up for like theater type classes or whatever, and they had us do like a monologue, I remember and I had to do like the Jack Nicholson monologue from A Few Good Men. But that was the problem is I was trying to act like Jack Nicholson. I
Right.
wasn't like
Not making it your own.
yeah, and I would do that a lot with the monologues. Like, but I would goof around a lot with the class, and the acting teacher was really cool though. He was like, "Well, you know, what makes you want to act?" And I told him that I was trying to do like comedic acting. You know, I've seen like a lot of sketch comedy and like funny movies.
Is there
That's what I was
anybody that you looked at like, man, I enjoy what they do?
Oh yeah, like Adam Sandler.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Or like everybody on Chappelle's show.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to do stuff like that. But that acting teacher had told me that if if I was serious about wanting to like do comedy, I should keep acting, but I should also try other forms of comedy as well, like stretch different muscles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me about like local open mics that I could sign up at, and I tried.
And you had never did them before?
I didn't even know you could do open mics back home. I thought you had to go to like New York, LA, like
right.
But I went to an open mic and
this is where in Texas?
Dallas,
Texas. Go ahead.
And I bombed, but I really loved it. I was like, man, this is it right here. I didn't even go back to acting no
Damn.
more. Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, how many minutes do you get your first night when you bomb?
I got 3 minutes.
Did that feel long?
Yeah, I did 1.5.
Right. Why only 1.5?
There was like one other comic after me, because when you sign up at when you first start going to open mics, you go like at the end. You gotta work your way up. There was one other comic after me. He was just yelling at me the whole time that I was on stage. Like I can't cuss on here, right?
We try not to, but what did he say?
All right, he said.
You can say what he said.
He's like, "Get the fuck off the stage."
He's like, "Thank you," and you got off.
I was like, "All right, that's my time."
Thank you. Good night. You was like, man, you signed up after me.
Yeah.
He must have thought he was like a headliner because he came on. Were you second to the last and he was last, or he was just after you?
Yeah, no, I was second to last and he was last.
Man,
he was ready to go home.
Right.
I was like, fair enough, guy. I was like, I'm second to last, but you really got it bad. So
yeah, and then I guess you shaved. You cut on some time. You cut it 1.5 minutes. I'm pretty sure you had to get up and go to work. He had to go to work. You know, what did you do before comedy started paying the bills?
I was a barber.
Really? Yeah.
I was a barber, and then occasionally when I needed extra money or when my uncle just needed extra help, I would go help my uncle at his body shop. I'm like a certified barber and a certified automotive painter.
Damn.
Yeah. Any job Mexicans had, like I've had it.
Hey man, so you never were afraid to like so-called work? You have been working since you were like young?
Yeah. I got my first job when I was 12.
What the hell do you? And what, a family restaurant or somebody's restaurant?
My neighbor's restaurant.
Right.
Yeah, we weren't like poor. We didn't need the money or nothing. But like my best friend, he was busy every weekend, and I would be like, "Yo, man, on Saturday you want to go to the movies or something?" He's like, "I can't. Like I gotta work."
Oh.
And he would be like, "Well, my parents said you could come work if you want." And I was like, "All right."
Oh,
well.
so you did the buddy system?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I might as well.
Hang out.
Hey man, so when you say we didn't need the money, can you explain when you say, "Oh, we didn't need the money"? Like money wasn't hella scarce.
Nah,
growing up for you.
Nah, we were fine.
Yeah.
Like, average, like middle class type. We were good. We
right.
didn't,
And what about family? Like I know that there was one story where you was talking about you didn't know, was it your uncles? You didn't quite know what your uncles did?
Yeah, my uncle, my dad for a while.
Oh yeah.
They were involved in some less than legal business.
Yes, sir.
For most of my childhood.
Right. Yeah.
So we were always fine. I lived with my grandma, and my grandpa was there too, but when I was a teenager, he ended up doing his own thing. But yeah, like I never put 2 and 2 together. That's like money was coming from. Like nobody ever had like a job.
Right.
But everybody had like a nice house.
Right.
Like my uncle had a real nice house. He had like a Corvette, an Escalade. You know those Escalades that they're kind of, man, the body style is like an Avalanche almost. They got like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a truck SUV.
It's like a
kind
truck.
of thing?
Yeah. He had those when those first came out. He had it like on some 24s or something.
And you just thought everybody had it, or you don't question it. How old are you at that time?
Man, this is like my whole childhood. That he has nice things. He would have that, then he'd have like a different Corvette. Then he'd get rid of this one. Then he moved
they
around
didn't
a
have
lot
jobs
too.
and moved around.
Yeah, I was like, man, he always has a different house and different cars.
But different nice house.
Yeah,
and different nice cars.
Yeah.
When do you realize, or did somebody tell you like, hey man, you don't know what some of your family do?
I realized it maybe because I feel like everything started falling apart. I guess when I was like in high school. So I was maybe like a freshman by the time I started realizing these things, and by the time I'm like a junior in high school, like Everybody had cases.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey man, how do you not get into that when it's right there in front of you and it's a quicker so-called hustle?
Cause I'm a doofus. Like I suck at it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, I would have brought I would have brought the whole family down years ago.
Yeah.
Way before.
You ever see Godfather? They're like what is it,
That-
Brother Fredo?
That one guy, yeah, that one that's like,
Yeah.
man, the weakest link, the loose one.
I'm the Corky Romano. You ever see Corky Romano?
Yeah, but I don't remember too much.
His whole family's like mobbed up, and he's just like this corny veterinarian
Right.
assistant. Like, I would have done bad for my family. Bro.
Hey man, but getting into comedy, and you say your first night you kind of bombed. Well, not kind of bombed, you bombed.
I bombed, yeah.
What makes you come back and not say, man, F this? You say you enjoyed it?
I did say
Oh, okay.
F it for a little. Like I enjoyed it, but then I was like scared of it, like kind of like scared to jump back in the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But I knew I was gonna get back at it. I just kept like rewriting jokes. I was also really intimidated by like all the older dudes at open mics because I was like 19 maybe when I first tried it, like 18, 19. And I don't know. That was my first time being around just like strangers in general, like that many strangers, you know what I mean? That were all like different ages. So that would kind of scare me, but yeah, I don't know. It stayed in my head. Like every day I just replay the minute and a half. And I'm just like, yo, if I would have started off like this, or if I would have said this different. And so then you go up on stage to try it different. And then on one part you were right, but maybe this joke you were wrong. And so
you keep going back.
Yeah.
You keep going back. What do your family say, like your dad, or what do your family say when you say
a job?
Yeah. Yeah. And especially, man, and there's some comics in Dallas. There's a living, spots in Dallas that we know now. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not a part of it, you don't see the opportunities, and you do think that, I got, people make it out of New York, people make it out of LA. So even to have tunnel vision where you didn't see where you could make it at, it's crazy that you kind of stayed with it, because for one, that's already a hard field. Entertainment is hard as hell to crack anyway. And then when you don't have all these opportunities, or you don't come in with the like ensemble or the troupe or somebody usher you in, that's even harder to try to get on.
And I didn't blame any of them for not really. I mean, they like supported, but they didn't see it like as a real, like this isn't gonna go anywhere,
Right.
And I don't blame them for that, because like they haven't seen it work for anybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
My family's real old school. They're like, do what they know works.
Yeah, man.
Because they love you. They're just looking out for you.
Yeah. Do they tell you just get a job?
A lot. They were, man, my dad tried to get me to get so many jobs. Because my dad, he went to the feds for a little bit. But when he got out, he worked on cars for a while. Then he started doing remodeling jobs. Then he started like his own remodeling business, like construction
you got it right
type
here.
job. Yeah, so he was just like, man, we work on these houses, and there's these dumpsters, and like you can drive the truck that moves the dumpsters, and they pay this much. Like I could get you a job with them, or like just come, remodel houses. And I tried it a couple times, but man, like
It wasn't it.
I remember there was like a kitchen island that we had to like demolish. And he's like, don't mess up the floors. The owners of this house really want to keep the floors. And he's like, so when you're taking apart that like kitchen island, like just be real careful with the floors. And I got this sledgehammer, and I don't know. It's
Lord
like I'm not making this up. Like first thing I did was just ram that hammer into the floor on accident. I just missed the whole kitchen island.
Hey man, that was God telling you this ain't for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't for you. Hey, what was the average that you would make during the construction, or doing demolition and
I was
driving?
just bouncing around.
When
like,
Pop said there's money, how much was it?
I don't know, man. I did like 2 days of home remodel, and my dad gave me like $100. He's just like, don't come back.
Right. How much were you making? Not open mic night, because that's nothing. When you started to get paid, were you the $25, $50 guy too?
Yeah. I was
so
making chump change.
Yeah, so you figure, man, if you could make this over here with Pops, that's probably what your family was thinking too. Like, man, you're going over there making nothing.
Oh yeah, like I worked as a barber for a lot of years.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I could never keep my clientele, because I was always going out of town for shows or
That's
whatever
dope.
I could do, and sometimes I just stay out too late. Like I would drive, like I'm in Dallas, but if I could get a gig like in Houston, San Antonio, then I'll drive out on a Friday, do the gig, whatever, then I'll drive right back.
to cut the hair?
Yeah.
Were
cut
you
hair.
canceling on clients too?
I'd cancel a lot because sometimes I'd be too sleepy when I got back, and I just like, bro, I just can't do it today. Like,
Damn.
I got shows tonight. I need to rest up for that. Like,
hey man, but you knew that it was comedy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the barbers there, they'd get mad at the other barbers. They're like, what's up, man? You got all these people waiting for you. Like, you coming in? And I'd be like, just knocked out, you know? And they'd get mad. They're like, where were you? I'd be like, oh, it's because I was driving back from such and such. They're like, did you get paid at least? I was like, no, not at all. Like, I lost money.
Damn, by driving there, gas and
I was like, but, you know, I met some cool comics that might hook it up with gigs later on. And they're like, what? Like,
yeah,
what's
hey
that?
man, but they couldn't. It's obvious they couldn't see it.
Nah.
Do you see any of the same barbers at the spots now?
Yeah.
Since you on.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I still get my haircuts at that same shop. When we did the Netflix taping, I made sure they were all there. Like,
Yeah.
the Netflix taping, we did it at the theater right across the street from the barber shop that I worked at for.
How
like,
crazy is
my
that,
gosh.
bro?
yeah, 1 block. I get all my jobs done.
That's crazy. hey, man, when did you? And there's a road to getting to Netflix. You know what I'm saying? There's a road. There's still comedians that say, man, I didn't get the Netflix special. You know, why was it important to also shoot? You know, where you were familiar with.
I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to do it like right there where I just put in so many years of work. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
When that barber shop is located in a part of Dallas called Oak Cliff.
Mhm.
And as a teenager, my dad had a business right there. Well, he had a body shop that he ran, and I'd go work there. My uncle used to work for my dad there, and I'd go work there as like a teenager, and my uncle would show me like stuff. And I'd get my haircuts there as a teenager, which was at the barber shop where I ended up working as I got older. You know, I went to barber college in that neighborhood. I worked in that neighborhood, and so a lot of people from there think I'm from Oak Cliff, whether I'm technically not. Like, I grew up like on the other end of the city.
And how far is that minute wise? Or
I grew up like 20 minutes
gotcha.
northeast. That's like on the southwest part. Where I grew up was technically already the suburb. It was like a block over. It's like not even Dallas anymore. I wasn't even allowed to claim Dallas.
Oh, really?
Now I can, because now.
Oh yeah. Now they claim you.
Now they're like, you know, he's from here, right? But back then they were just like, nah, bro, stay on that block over there. Like, but yeah, so when things started popping off and my Instagram or social media started growing,
man.
a lot of people from Oak Cliff were like, Oak Cliff represent, like, yo,
Yeah.
Oak Cliff. And so I don't know, I thought it'd be cool to like do the first special right there. Like, Oak Cliff, that's the place where I learned my skills and put food on my table.
Yeah, man.
For a lot of years, you know?
Hey, man, and it's crazy because you look like a barber.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one's ever told you that.
A couple times.
Yeah, because you and I don't know what this barber look. I own a barber shop. I'm not in there
damn.
at all. You know what I'm saying? I used to cut hair, but for some reason, when I found out you were a barber, I was like, dude, he looked like a barber. You know what I'm saying? And plus, when you get on, you make sure you always,
Nah, not
you
today,
always cut.
though,
But are you saving up for something? You know how sometimes you don't trim up because you got something,
I just don't cheat on my barber. So if we can't line it up, then I'm throwing.
right? So you had one barber?
Yeah. Well, if I most of the time, if I
Right.
don't go to him, I at least go to the shop.
Yeah.
Because when I was working there, we'd all cut each other up for free, and so it was always about like, well, who could get me? Because it's like everybody's
Who got
first
a
thing
chair
first,
right now?
get the customers, you know.
They charge you now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hey man, have you tripped off of how much haircuts cost now?
Kinda. Even when I was at the barbershop, man, that's something that me and the other barbers would get mad at me about. Is I wouldn't want to charge whatever the new price was. I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I was so broke at the time. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, how we gonna charge them this?
yeah, I can't even afford these haircuts.
You're like, man, that's why I'm waiting for your chair to pop over so I can get a freebie from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, with going out and doing your own shows now, and when you do see social media booking shows, Netflix, Cowabunga is available for us right now, man, which I thought was a great hour. You know what I'm saying?
thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, man. Like you really, and you could tell, man, even just in your outfit, you just seem comfortable. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
I
saying?
think
Like
so.
you seem like somebody that's just next door, or like, oh, your homie made it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I
hear
can
that
see.
quite a bit.
Yeah, man. Or do you get a lot of people that say you remind me of?
You remind me of my boy. You remind me
Yeah.
of my cousin. You
Yeah,
remind me
man.
of my brother.
Yeah, it's like one of the homies really got on.
Yeah.
One of the homies really got on, man. Where do you still want to do your comedy stuff too, as far as film?
Film. I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I guess it's like that itch you're always gonna want to scratch.
Yeah,
like,
hell yeah.
Like, of course. But right now I'm so zoned in with the stand up, especially that I just put this hour on Netflix. Like, now I just need to keep working on that other hour,
Yeah,
which I was
man.
already working on. It's not all the way there, but now I'm like, man, this is one of the funnest moments for me in the comedy world. Is
it fun and challenging too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just working on the next hour. It would take a lot of trips out to New York, which I like a lot, because you could do like a whole bunch of spots in the night, and because your audience can spoil you. I mean, not to sound like not to sound ungrateful. I love having an audience now, but sometimes they like you just because they like you.
All you got to do is show up sometimes. I was going to ask you, is that not a gift and a curse? But you know how sometimes, like, even when I first saw you, I just started to smile because I know your work. And I'm pretty sure you'll get that.
Yeah, you see, and sometimes your audience, like, and this is cool too, like you said, like gift and a curse. Sometimes I feel like they know you so well, they start to laugh at things that the average person might not laugh. Like they get like your insider kind of things. And I don't want my next hour to be built on insider jokes between me and my already.
So that's why
audience.
you go outside.
Go to New
and
York,
say,
you get in front of a crowd of people who sometimes they're just visiting this country, people who've never heard of you, maybe a couple people, but you get like a real gauge on your jokes, you know what I mean?
And when you do an hour, or when you're building up to that hour, it's crazy because as a comedian, it's like you do an hour, that hour's burnt. It's not like you have a R&B song and you have a hit song and you could tour off that song and we can't wait to hear that song. With jokes, it's like, damn, I just gave them an hour on Netflix with Cowabunga. There's things that you can go back to that's familiar.
Yeah, there's very few comics out there that have jokes that are that like legendary that the audience does want to hear them again. But even then, it's maybe like one or two jokes.
Yeah, it's not like you touring on the same hour for like years.
Yeah, if you do that, people start to get mad.
You start seeing your crowd go like this too.
Yeah.
You know, so you've been working out some new material as well?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Because it's like you celebrating having Cowabunga on Netflix, but you can't really celebrate because now you got to go build up another, 30 hour, whatever it may be.
I like to celebrate in little moments.
Mm-hmm. How so?
Like, if we're traveling a lot, so if I go to a city where they show a lot of love, like Chicago, I love Chicago, man. Because like I just walk into a bar and I get recognized pretty easily, and they're like, "Oh man, it's good to do the section or whatever." Those are the moments where I'm like, all right, well, while we're here, let's celebrate that one accomplishment from like a few months ago.
Gotcha.
So then we'll just go all out that night. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Hey, man, so you do. I was going to ask you that. Do you get recognized even more so?
Yeah, it just depends where I'm
Does
at.
That trip you?
I mean?
Yeah. Does that trip you out though?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes people will be like, "Hey, are you that comedian guy?" Or like, "Are you that guy on TikTok or YouTube?" Yeah. And if they're asking, like, if they're not sure, then I'm just not gonna be sure either. I'll be like, I don't know what. Like,
right. Maybe.
Yeah, there's a dude. I was at a Target. This dude was like, "Hey, bro, are you that comedy guy?" I was like, "Nah, man, I don't think so." "What do you mean?" He's like, "No, I don't think that's you, right?" I was like, "Nah, bro, it's not." And then right, like he didn't even walked off yet. These two really pretty girls came up to me.
Oh, there you go.
And they're like, "Can we take a picture with you?" I was like, "Hell yeah."
Of course. Over here, though. Over here. Yeah. Over here.
He was like, "Oh, man, I knew that was you."
Like, nah, man, I'm just messing with you, man. Yeah, come on and get this picture, man. Yeah, I remember Kevin Hart, he was talking about somebody. He was like, yeah. He said, "You're snap your fingers famous." You know what I'm saying? You're past that, but I understood what he was talking about when it's like, man, are you that
dude? You're that guy.
Yeah. But it's crazy because people, they know your name, man. And it's crazy how much work you probably had to put into just to be here and knowing you got more work to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be more work to do. Yeah. That's the fun part.
That's what scares me, though.
Yeah. Really?
Nah. So tired of working, bro. Yeah, I love it. I take it as a blessing. But oh, Lord have mercy, bro. Yeah, but I enjoy what I do. And
what time do you wake up in the morning? Because, man, I had to wake up like at 7 to come here, and I was already like, oh, my God.
Man, 7 for us is a luxury.
Damn. Yeah.
Sleeping in late for me on the weekends is 7 o'clock.
That's your sleeping.
That's like I'm like, damn, it's already 7.
You're on some military time.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
without all the military work though.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good, that's
the
good.
military time. I'm not doing more before people, do at 10 before people do all day.
I've never been a morning person.
Nah.
I don't even like the sun much.
Hey man, let me tell you though, I was the same way before I got the morning show. I used to hear the Baker Boys doing the morning show, and I'd be like, man, damn, that's crazy. They up in the morning. Even my homies, they knew. Don't call before 11, 12 o'clock. To this day, man, I've been doing mornings for almost 27 years, 26. I'm still not used to it.
Dang, you
I'm
see?
Yeah. I remember I asked this one morning show guy, I said, man, how long does it take to get used to it? He said, man, it took me like 3 years. And I remember at 3 years, I was like, damn, I'm not used to it.
I couldn't do it.
4, 10, you know what I'm saying? But I love what I do too. I wouldn't want to do anything else.
When you love it, that's
unless
when
they pay you more.
like it up for it.
Yeah, I would definitely leave this shit if something else popped. Don't get into it. I love what I do, but man, if I can make more and do less, oh my God.
That's one thing I miss about the barbershop. Saturday mornings at the shop. That's when like a lot of us would get there the earliest.
Yeah.
But if you get there like 6:45 a.m., we're ordering breakfast. There's only like 3 or 4 of us there. They got like some oldies playing. It's nice.
Yeah, so those are moments that you miss.
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about being on the road?
Oh.
Or do you enjoy?
I do enjoy being on the road.
Gotcha.
I do enjoy.
You do the road a lot?
Yeah, I've been on the road every weekend for like a little over a year now.
Damn.
Yeah. It's been dope.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Hey man, do you wish that you had like 3 or 4 clones where you can do it all?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. It's crazy you say that.
Yeah, like, you can snatch it all up. Cause I know your calendar, Ralph, gotta be crazy.
I mean, it's not too bad.
Yeah, it is.
It is. November's been tough.
Yeah.
November and late October because of like trying to promote the special. I've never done nothing like this before.
Yeah.
And so we're taking on like I'm also taking on any extra shows because come January I want to take a few weeks off. And I know myself and I'm gonna spend a lot of money on dumb stuff out of boredom.
Like
so
what?
So I'm trying to gather my nuts for hibernation right now. Like, every gig I'm trying to take.
What do you say? You're gonna do something like dumb?
Man, I'm gonna go buy like a mini dirt bike and use it a few times.
Right.
I'm gonna go
because you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna go buy like I do a lot of online shopping when I can't sleep.
What do you pick up? Hey man, do you ever get them Instagram ads? You be like, man, I think I could use that.
Facebook for sure.
Really?
Facebook knows me at this point. At first, I used to get mad at that. It's like, why would they think I'd wear this or want to shop here? And then eventually, I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they got me. That damn algorithm, they got me. They got me.
Order jackets.
Hey man, with you not being at home a lot, where are you ordering and sending this stuff to?
To my house.
But you'll get home.
I'll get home and there's
you
just
pretty much
boxes stacked up.
Monday to Wednesday, Monday to Thursday, you could be at the crib.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so you're on that hella comic schedule. So you're pretty much some Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you dedicated to the game.
Yeah.
Damn. What does that do for relationships?
Man, it's tough. I miss my son.
Oh, yeah, man. How old is your son?
He's 4. He's in pre-K right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so you got to try to divide your time between what you do for the craft and work with your son as well.
Yeah. When I'm home, I got to go straight into daddy mode. Like, I get home on a Monday, and I got to make sure, like, I get there in time to pick him up from school.
Yeah, man.
Come 3 o'clock Monday, and then, that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I can stay till Thursday, I'll
you and the
stay
queen,
gladly.
the mom still together? Or
No. We've separated.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I took custody of him. I
wow.
killed her in court. No, I'm kidding. No.
Wait a minute.
Nah,
she going to be watching this.
Nah, me and her on really good terms. We're like really good friends.
Right, but you did kill her in court.
Yeah, nah, we actually, I put myself on child support.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait,
a lot of people look
that.
at me like that when I say that. So when we first split up, it was bad. Like she was mad, really mad.
Gotcha.
And she didn't really want to let me see my son too much. She was just being kind of immature,
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Well, if you want to see him, you can see him at my house, but I'm not gonna let you pick him up." She was treating me like I was like some violent criminal.
Right.
Which I'm not. Like I've never even been like verbally like I've never called her anything outside of her name. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I wanted to do like that whole joint custody thing, like try to fight for that, but I couldn't afford a lawyer. I could barely afford my booth rent when I was working as a barber. So
right.
I just was like, man, I put myself on child support, and they'll by law require her to at least let me get my weekends or whatever, like every other weekend. Like
I still don't understand that. I put myself on child support.
Yeah, so that they forced her to let me pick up my son.
Because he like I'm sure it's like some guys try to like dodge having to pay child support, but he like put himself up to pay for it so he could get those visitations.
So you just said okay.
I went to the Texas Attorney General office
and said
like,
I want to pay child support.
Volunteer.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
And they give you like the little paper, like whatever you want to do, bro. They're like, here's the papers, just sign it, give us money, like gladly.
And so that right there helps you go see your son.
Yeah. So they set up this court date, right?
That's like that Eminem 8 Mile. Like, you can't do nothing to me. I'm going to put myself
Yeah.
on child support. Like,
Yeah.
you ain't going to call me no deadbeat dad. I filled the papers out.
But I wasn't really too fond of like every other weekend. I'm like, bro, it's like twice a month. Like, that sucks, you know? But I just kept talking to her. Like, we'd argue sometimes, but I kept trying even before the court date. I'm like, I know it's different for every situation, but for most co-parent relationships, you just got to remember, you know, like, I have the same goals for your kid to have a good life or whatever, you know what I mean? And so we just kept talking about that, whatever. So by the time we had the actual court date, there's like a lot of, you know, failed relationships there, a whole lot of baby mamas, baby daddies. And I guess to get things going quicker, they have like this lawyer dude come out and they're like, have you guys reached an agreement or do you need to make sure you see the judge?
Try to make it straight in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, can we fix it out here? And we were like, yeah, we actually already kind of wrote out our own little agreement, our own little schedule. And the dude was like, we edited it on the paper with her, and the dude was like, all right, just wait right here, came back with a paper, signed it. We never have actually been in court, me and my son's mom.
Wow. And this is before you're on, right?
Yeah.
How is it now that you're on?
Okay, so like before, we have little conflicts here and there. Now, whatever I say goes.
Right. It's a whole different world, huh?
If I get to be home for a weekend, I'll be like, hey, I don't have to go out of town this weekend. I'm doing shows back home or something. My son's name is Lorenzo, so I'll be like, let me keep Renzo for like the week or like a week and a half before I leave again. And she's just like, yeah, like do whatever you want. Like she's comfortable. So
yeah. You had to earn that though, huh?
Yeah. You have to work for it.
And now it's there.
Yeah.
What kind of dad are you, Ralph?
I'm doing my best, but
yeah, man. And that's all we could do.
Doing my best, trying to make sure he doesn't stay up too late, trying to make sure he's eating right, trying to make sure he's not watching bad stuff.
Do you know how to be dad and friend enough?
I think so, because when I see stuff that I feel like this requires me to be like the dad, I feel like I act in like instinct, like.
Hey man, what is it like when you know you have it, and our instinct also is to give?
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm
tough
saying,
too, man.
Yeah,
like we go to the store, and I know that if I buy my son toys every time I go to the store, or if I'm always spoiling him, I know it's not necessarily good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I already see it. I already know I've messed up where I buy so many toys. I'm cleaning up his toys the other day, and I was cleaning up this little Nerf gun. And there's like this big, like, what is that, Fortnite?
Right.
Like those kids
and
like
he's
Fortnite.
4.
He's 4.
Right.
And he wants this Fortnite Nerf gun, right? It's like a dragon or something like that. Or it's like Minecraft. I don't remember what it is. I get these games. I'm getting an old man. I don't know these.
How old are you now?
I'm 27.
Yeah. Oh my Lord.
Oh, so old.
Slap the shit out of you.
I can't keep up with these games, man.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, the point is, I see it, and I remember when I bought it. It was like 2 weeks ago, and he touched it like twice.
Yeah,
and
man.
I was like, I've bought too many toys.
I used to see my kids be more intrigued with the packaging and the box than the actual game. And I think that we buy stuff for us, as far as like we buy it and knowing that they're not going to have it for a long ass time.
Just buy it so they can feel good in the moment.
Yeah. And we feel good.
I've given them enough moments.
Right. But it's got to be hard when you know you got to get away too. Especially these years when, they're sponges. They're soaking in everything. You want to be with them, but you also got to make sure that he probably does he eat?
Yeah.
So he probably want to eat every day, so you got to make sure that happens. Does he have lights in his house?
Yeah.
Electric? Yeah, so with the queen and him and what she's doing, he
tells me all the time, he's like, man, Pa, I told you stop working, like stop going to work. And I said, if I don't go to work, like who's going to buy us food and toys and make sure that, we have like a place to live? And he starts naming off my brother and sister, which are teenagers. He's like, Adam. He's like, Emma. He's like, Grandpa.
Right.
He's like, they'll take care of us.
Yeah, he came with names, huh?
Yeah. I'm like,
and then that's when you grab him like, man, you're 4. You don't even understand this shit.
I'm like, don't you get it? They've been taking care of me long enough. Like,
can't go back to Dad's house.
Actually, we live with my dad.
You live with Dad, huh?
Yeah, we live with my dad. This is my
Do
first
you
time
live with
living
Dad,
with my dad.
or does Dad live with you?
No, I live with Dad.
Really,
for sure.
though?
That's definitely my dad's house.
Why?
I don't know. I
Hey,
like
man,
it.
Louis over here. Louis
Yeah, what's
like,
up?
yep, see, told you.
Told you, Doug.
It's probably like
all
a
good, bro.
Mexican thing, bro.
Oh, it totally is, bro.
Yeah,
There's
man.
no need to actually move out. Like, why move
Not at
out?
all.
Like, yeah. You're like, dude, I'm only here a few days a week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they helped me a lot with my son too.
Right.
So I moved to my dad's little country town because he lives out in this little country town. I moved there because the schools were better.
For your son.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I got my son's mom to move out there as well. She got like
okay.
an apartment down the street or whatever.
Why you don't have an about down the street? You're like, because I got dad.
I got my daddy's
yeah,
house. Like,
yeah,
Hell yeah.
Apartments.
All right. Like, yeah, that's it.
Like maintenance, man. I got a dad, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, who gonna cook? You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's another thing. My
Yeah.
stepmom cooks.
yeah, see? That's what Louis got too. Louis like,
Yeah.
man, why would I leave this?
You got it's like what is that? That Machiavelli book they talk about in that movie, A Bronx Tale. He's like availability. He's like, I could live anywhere I want to in this city. He's like, but I stay right here. Availability.
And you have that.
Yeah.
I heard that, bro. What about the rules?
My dad's always telling me, like, take out the trash and stuff.
At an accomplished 27-year-old comedian with a Netflix special?
Yeah.
Did you ever tell him, like, Dad, like, going to the Netflix menu?
Watch
Like, dude, you're hosting a party this weekend.
He'll like, anytime that I have too much trash, because I live on the upstairs.
Gotcha.
Nobody else is up there. That's like my little,
Oh, yeah.
Right,
And why
high.
leave that? For real.
yeah. I got this whole little area to myself, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I get too lazy to, like, take out the trash. I'm only, like, this last week, I was only home, like, 2 days.
Right.
I did not take out my trash. I piled it all up, and I put it up in bags and stuff.
Oh, yeah, you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to take it down. But then, you know.
You left and did shows
Yeah.
and came back?
And he'll send me pictures of the trash. He'll be like, how old are you?
Right.
I'm like, I'm on Netflix.
Right. Yeah. All right, come on, Dad. You know you can take that down. You know, hey, man. But, yeah, why move?
There's no point of it.
It's crazy, man, just watching Cowabunga on Netflix, watching how you go throw down, and that you really stay with Pops.
Yeah.
Man, how
Good for
real
you.
is that? Louis said, "How good for you,
Good for you,
Just
bro.
Real Mexican.
Yeah. What? So, are you in a relationship right now?
I was.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. What
Yeah,
happened,
yeah.
man? She couldn't accept your fame.
Man, I think she accepted it very well. Whatever, you know, fame was going on, but it's just that being on weekends, sometimes you get tempted to, like, you know, just like I said, you get a little celebratory weekends, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I didn't really like having somebody to, like, worry, you know what I mean? Because I'd mess up here and there if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
And then you're young. And
Yeah.
there's probably things coming at you. You know, you probably can't do that kind of relationship right now.
Yeah.
At least take it from me, a man that's married and have 2 kids, man, please. Throw your dick a party. Don't stop yet, bro.
Yeah.
City
I'm
You
just
know what I'm
gonna-
saying? As
I'm
safe
just
as you
gonna
can.
date
If you're not
around.
as safe as you can, at least something that'll take it away in 10 days.
I gave it like 3 chances over the last.
You gave her?
No, like 3 women.
Oh,
three-
okay.
3 different. I've given relationships
3 different
3
tries?
different tries over the last, like, year and a half.
And what happened?
Man, after like a couple months, like, either they don't believe me that like how busy you are sometimes, or sometimes you just kind of forget to reply to stuff, and then it starts, like, more problem. And other times I'm just, man, if I'm being honest, I'm married to the game. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
comedy.
Right.
This is my first priority.
And at first, man, if they come in and they know what it is too, you know what I'm saying? If you already had a microphone in your hand and you already established, and it's crazy when you're working towards something and and somebody's not really on that same page with you, or you feel like you got to start explaining yourself. Like, yeah, it's probably not where you want to be, and it's obvious as you sit here.
Not at all.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know.
Do
It's fun.
comedians get groupies?
No comment.
Yeah, what do those DMs look like now?
Yeah,
Man,
well, be
you know,
careful. I DM'd them. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? Like there'll be a occasional DM here and there where they're like, "Hey, like, you're so cute," or just some random stuff, right? Just randomly. Man, when that Netflix special dropped, like, the next day, I got to go sit courtside at the Dallas Mavericks game,
Yeah.
and they're like giving me a shout out on the jumbotron. Boy, my DMs were blowing up.
Oh yeah.
There was women that were just like, I want to make you laugh.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm like, give me your best 5 minutes right now.
Hey man, then plus I want to make you laugh. That don't sound like hella sexy to me.
It doesn't,
Like
but-
yeah, shoot me your,
Just
shoot me your number. I want to hear
say
your
it a certain
material.
way,
I just
like,
think
I
it's-
want to make you laugh.
I just think it's
Yeah,
funny
but
that they're
you
like,
you could have said anything and I would have been like, oh yeah.
Oh, okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
it is the way you said it.
and then they're like quoting some of my jokes from the special. They're like, I drive a Subaru. You can ride passenger in my car.
You're like, oh, you watched my hour.
Yeah.
That's the way of telling you too. Hey man, when you go into like just like restaurants in the hood or about the crazier things look, the better the food tastes. Bro, I've been saying that for years.
It's
and I
true.
tell people too, I say, man, when I walk into a spot and the furniture, like the chairs don't match, stuff like that, or you see somebody big and they got to push off of something to get up to help you out, I'm like, this is it.
The tables in the booths don't move.
Yeah, man.
The chairs have little holes in them.
I
Sometimes a
love
little
that.
cushion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And it be red, and you can see the beige or the yellow cushion on the inside.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Table, you got to be careful how the table is. Like that. That's the spots.
The relatives who like work for the restaurant in the back arguing.
Yeah, they don't care about you. Like, and when you
Yeah.
say, man, when you see a spot and somebody gets shot at it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going that day. Yeah, line is clean. You know what
That
I'm
might
saying?
be a little bit of an exaggeration.
It is.
But
But you know what, man? I know restaurants where things have happened at, and I'm like, bro, they back open?
yeah,
Yeah.
back in Dallas, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this spot. There's a place called Rudy's Chicken,
Nah.
and it gets packed. It's only drive-through. You can't like actually go inside. You can order at the window. There's always something going on. Like a fight breaks out, somebody
Yeah.
honked too much. There's always something going
People
on.
risk their lives for
But
it.
you know
though.
what? The chicken is amazing.
Yeah. Take your chances.
It's one of the top 3 chicken places in Dallas.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Hey, dude, why do I know I'm going to go there? Yeah, you say chicken to die for, huh?
Chicken
Remember when
to
everybody
die
was
for.
dying over that Popeyes chicken sandwich? I was like, man, that sandwich ain't even good. And I was like, it's going to come back.
I like the sandwich, but
Right,
each
not
their
to
own.
die over it.
Not to die over.
Yeah,
it,
man, I wouldn't even get in a fist fight over a chicken sandwich.
Who were they in competition with? They were like, it was like
Was it Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
I think Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist.
Uh-oh.
I feel like Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, maybe like the owners or whatever,
The same?
were just at a different
okay.
owners, but maybe they're just getting drunk at a bar, and they're just like, bro, like I respect your chicken. You know, they're kind of like
Right.
giving each other little hand jobs, like, hey, nah, your chicken's so good, bro. and then maybe somebody was like, nah, ours is better, ours is better. And it's like, what does it matter? Like maybe they took that whole Pimp C logic, like we can work together and make more money.
Right,
And then
together.
one of them was like, what do you mean we can work together? And they go
Start
and
the beef.
call Mark Zuckerberg and start making a bunch of Facebook memes on like this. They just created this whole beef. Yeah. There was no beef,
Hey, man.
literal beef, but they created the beef.
You sound like Ani right now.
Yeah, I love it. I was like,
Ani is really over there. Like, as soon as you say conspiracy, she's like,
yeah, I was like,
are you into conspiracies?
A little bit.
Yeah, right. But you're not beating your brain up over
Like
it.
I'm not gonna believe my own theories, but I'll make up theories.
Right.
Further stability.
Yeah, it could
I'll
be.
let people like Ani believe them. You know?
Yeah. Are you into AI?
I
Like all that artificial intelligence?
don't like AI, man.
Yeah, man.
I feel like it was the whole reason a lot of my friends got put out of a job for a while. That whole like writer's strike.
Yeah.
AI was threatening them.
Yeah, man.
You know what's crazy? When I was a kid, I was really afraid of Chucky.
Mhm.
And my grandparents would threaten me with Chucky, like if I didn't do my
Yeah,
chores.
man.
And I feel like AI is like modern day Chucky. It's just like you better stay on it.
Yeah.
AI's gonna get you.
Right. You better learn it now. You better learn how to use it. Threatening your jobs, threatening
Yeah.
your likelihood. Yeah,
But,
man.
yeah, I'm not too big on AI. I'm old school, man. Like
I know you're 27.
I'm old school in a bad way too. Like I remember in middle school, they're trying to like that's when they started bringing out more computer type classes, and I was just like, man, I would get frustrated. I'm not good with computers.
Right.
Like I was getting frustrated, like how an old man would get, and I would get mad. I'd be like, this stuff is pointless. There's no future in this.
Right. Yeah. That's
Like, talking about
the
these
same.
hands. This is real work.
Yeah. Gonna be replaced by a no. People, that's why I say with AI, because I've seen when people are like, you're gonna get replaced by a computer. Like, nah, they're gonna take all the jobs. Man, no, man. You gotta go hands-on. Now you see these
Hands-on.
jobs now, bro. Everything is self-checkout. They got robots delivering food. I
That
still
is
don't know
true.
how Amazon work. Where Amazon now, they're trying to do where they can get stuff to your house in 30 minutes.
that's crazy.
30 minutes, bro.
I
like,
hate how how convenient that sounds, how much I kind of want to, like, how much I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
I'm like, I want to hate it, but at the same time, I'm like, when are you gonna start trials?
Right. Hey, Ralph, let me tell you this, man. But you said you do a lot of online shopping.
Yeah.
You know, so you can literally order something and have it before you go get on the plane.
That's bad.
Yeah,
bro.
man.
That's bad.
Yeah.
I'll pay extra for like shipping and everything. So you're telling me that it's like
Yeah,
30
man.
minutes like that?
They were showing like their planes and all this stuff, and I was like, damn. And you got to think, when I was growing up, if you ordered something, it took 6 to 8 weeks for it to get to your house.
I wouldn't even have ordered.
Yeah, sometimes on the real, Ralph, you will wait and stuff will come. You be like, oh, I did order this. You know, now if you order something on Amazon and it say 2 days, you're like, 2 days. Like 2 days, I literally find myself going down trying to find the 1 day.
Wait. But what time period is it that it took 6 to 8 weeks? We're using the internet or you were ordering like from like magazines?
This before the internet too. Before a lot of like phone
you had
stuff.
to phone it in?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to the TV, like when they'd be like, yo, call right now.
Yeah. TVs were color then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
they had color TVs. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have to listen to your programs on the radio. Stuff was actually on the TV. But yeah, it was like you either called in or through a catalog. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
You'd like call from a catalog. You'd be like, yo, that one jacket.
On page 75.
Medium.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was over 500 pounds, so medium, I was in like,
that's what you.
yeah, medium. I wasn't picking up the phone ordering stuff when I was in kindergarten, so
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like,
well, I still order medium.
yeah.
So I can't really relate there, big
How
boy.
tall are you, Ralph?
I'm 5. All
Uh-oh.
right, confession time.
Okay, please.
I say I'm 5'7" a lot in my act,
Yeah.
but I'm really like 5'6" and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
You seem taller. Even when you said when I see that you say 5'7", you seem taller when you walked in. Because even before you walked in, Louis was like, "How tall are you?" I said about 5'7". Louis was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
You
I don't
know,
know, man.
yeah.
I think maybe it's the success.
Yeah. You
It's
standing
added-
on
it's
success.
added an inch.
There it is. You know what I'm saying?
Standing about an inch of success.
Yeah, man. And a wad of money is about an inch too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
maybe,
saying?
maybe the way I carry myself.
Right,
Maybe I
right.
have this aura.
Yeah, and your vertebrae is straightening up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't got that
you're
slouch so much, you know?
Yeah, because you're looking around. It's different.
Becoming a dad helped with that. 'Cause
Really, though?
I stopped slouching.
How did that change your world, though, bro? Becoming a father, because at one point it's all about us.
I don't
I
think
can
I-
get up. I can go. I can go. I can go.
I don't think I would have made it as a comedian, at least not by now, if I hadn't had a kid. Because I was like, before my son was born, I was still living at my grandma's. I was cutting hair from home. I had no
Wow.
intentions of getting licensed. I was in barber college, but I'd go when I could afford to go. It was like
Hey
a
man, how
pay-as-you-go.
many hours was your barber college?
1,500.
That's crazy that
That's
a
way too
barber got to
much.
do that many hours still.
Yeah.
But they giving guns to certain people.
Bro, I've said that before, especially in Texas.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You don't even need a license in Texas to have a gun, but you need a license to like cut hair.
Yeah,
okay?
man. You know what I'm
They
saying?
trust you with a gun before they trust you with clippers. Like,
That's crazy, bro.
that is nuts.
So you did your 1,500 hours,
I did 1,500 hours.
and you were saying at first if you didn't have your son, like you were just doing
Yeah,
hours
I
here,
would
hours
just
here.
go to barber college from time to time. I was making like $200-300 a week out of my bedroom cutting hair.
Right.
I was doing open mics and showcases at night, and I had this little 2002 Nissan Sentra, got me from point A to point B. I was like
You was
comfortable.
good.
Yeah, I was not a very hungry like. I wasn't like I gotta get it to get my family out of here. I was like, nah, we're all right.
Yeah. You're like, like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying?
I eat enough.
He's like, grandma's
Eat
cool.
enough.
You know what I'm saying? I come home, food is hot.
I had growing up. They always had me wearing like designer brands.
Yeah.
Polo, a lot of like, whatever nice stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you weren't questioning nothing, huh?
Nah, but by the time that I was like getting towards the end of high school and nobody was really like supporting me like that, I was buying my own stuff. I realized I didn't really like it too much. Like I tried to buy it for myself a couple times.
Right.
But once I started like really picking
Having-
out my own clothes, I'm like,
It was different, huh?
yeah.
That's just like when you go to eat with somebody, they order different when you're paying for it, or everything tastes
Yeah.
better when somebody else paid for it.
Yeah.
Now that it's yours, you're like, oh wait, hold
Once
on.
you make $200-300 a week, you're like, I don't think Ralph Lauren's that great.
Yeah.
Actually.
Do I really need
Not at all.
3 colors? Like,
Yeah.
nah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally. It's
So
just.
I was like completely satisfied. But then my son's mom, who at the time was like, we were like on and off, we were doing really bad with her. Once I found out, she's pregnant, I'm like, all right, I should probably, get serious. And I I knew that by the time my son was at the age that he had to go to school, I wanted to be living in a better area.
Right.
And I knew that I wanted it, like, if I was going to make that move, I wanted it to be thanks to comedy and not be tied down to some other job.
Gotcha.
So I got real serious about, like, let me make sure I'm not just doing some random show. Like, let me make sure I'm doing shows that are gonna,
that means something,
me, yeah.
or bring something back. If it's not right there, if it doesn't create the dollar, it creates the opportunity too.
Yeah,
man.
I stopped smoking, just like zoned in. Just
Really though? Do you
productive.
smoke now?
I actually stopped again. So I had started again, and like 6 months ago I stopped. Last night I had an edible. It had been a while since I had like done any type of weed stuff.
Didn't you do a show last night?
Mm-hmm.
You did it after your show or before your show?
Man, I never, like, a lot of people think I'm high on stage. I'm never high on stage,
Right,
like,
gotcha.
ever.
Yeah.
I did it before the show, and man, I did not. I'm sorry, people of Irvine.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
Could you feel it altered the show?
Yeah, the first one at least. Second one was like pretty good. But that
Damn.
first one, I was just like, you guys ever? Never mind.
Oh.
Did you have to explain to the audience, like, man, I took an edible? Or...
I did it like right off the bat. It's like, I ate too many edibles.
Yeah, and people probably thought that was funny. Like, oh my God, is he serious?
Yeah, I'm like, whatever, bro. It's your money.
Right.
Whatever.
Hey man, how does it feel now when you hear your name being called out and you hear the audience? Do you still hear a roar, or can you still hear the laughter?
Yeah. I mean, my ears are working fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels cool, I guess. Sometimes, like, it's gonna sound messed up. Sometimes people yell too much.
Right.
Sometimes you go out there, they're like, right.
Like,
And
all
it's
right.
like, all right, thank you. And then there's like one or two random people that, like, the yelling has been over, and there's like, let's go, Ralph. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I was about to, like,
Yeah.
it's not,
I even noticed on Cowabunga, you was like, all right.
yeah, like, well,
Yeah.
it's like, this is not basketball. Like, I need you to listen. Like,
Yeah.
you can't yell at the same time I'm talking. Like,
We love you, Ralph. Like, thank you.
I'm like halfway through the sentence and they start yelling. I'm like, bro, this is like, you need to listen for this to
Right.
work.
Right, yeah. Like,
You know what I
this is
I'm gonna miss this dunk if you if you're yelling halfway through it.
Yeah, that's like me at the free throw line and you shoot a gun. Like,
Yeah.
I turn around. Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey,
it feels
Do you
good,
have any
though.
comedy heroes or people that you looked at and was like, man, I really enjoy what they do? Inspirations, whatever you would call it.
Before I actually got into comedy to the point like that I was like going at it, trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
My top two were always like Adam Sandler, Dave Chappelle.
That's
right?
dope.
When I started doing comedy, I started really falling in love with stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know a whole lot. I wasn't even like a big stand-up fan growing up, though. I just knew like the biggest.
So you
names.
just liked comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
it
funny
wasn't
movies,
stand-up
sketch comedy especially.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Funny movies more than anything. But once I started doing comedy and learning about different comics, I really admired Mitch Hedberg, when he rest in peace. I
Damn.
didn't know
You
who
remind
that
me of
was.
him, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
I think I mentioned that to
really
you
good.
earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the purest form of joke writing, in my opinion. Like, and it's just silly, goofy. Like, there's no message. Don't get me
Right.
wrong. I like when comedy has like a message. I love
like the
different-
same way you say with Dave Chappelle. Dave
Yeah.
Chappelle, he'll give you a message in the
Yeah.
joke. Yeah. So
He talks about some real stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's also funny to see like the silliest form of it too, like just a jokety joke.
yeah.
And I like that a lot. Like, he'll go up there with, sometimes audiences wouldn't even like get it. You know what I mean? And he just would power through. He just like say the jokes. There's no transitions, no nothing. Like, I'm like, bro, hell yeah, like that's. I don't know.
Did
I
you
like
start
that.
studying either stand-ups or not studying, like, oh, I got to see what I'm getting myself into, but did you find yourself starting to look at more stand-up comedians
For
too?
sure,
Yeah.
because you want to see like, I don't know, man. You start seeing like who's skilled, how they're
Right.
skilled, and a lot of the skill really comes from like their own unique style, which is just them being themselves, their voice on stage.
Gotcha.
But I also had to like, when I first started, I'd watch it a lot, but then I had to like stop for a
Oh.
long time, because
Why?
then you'll start to like mimic the people
Exactly.
you're watching. So to really create your own voice, your own style, like you just have to. I feel like you have to not watch anybody and just get on
Right.
stage a lot, get comfortable on stage.
And were you doing nights where you would sometimes try to do 2-3 nights? 2-3
Yeah. It's
stages a
tough
night
in
if
Dallas.
you can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the venues, the availability wasn't
Yeah,
there.
I can maybe like do 2 spots a night, but sometimes I just go like and I know a lot of comics are gonna be like, damn, it's bad or something. Sometimes I go like a month and a half without going to a single mic or a show, but I don't know. It like worked for me.
Right.
I stay writing. And it's kind of building my ego up too much though. Cause
Right
like,
here, like, oh, I can do the practice.
Yeah, because people
Who need practice?
talking about practice.
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Because I would go back to mics, and then people would be like, "Dang, you got a whole new 5," and like it just worked. Like what the? And I just be like,
Hey
don't
man,
know,
it's crazy when you say a whole new 5 because some people don't understand when you say a whole new 5 how
long you
hard
can actually
a
take.
whole new
Yeah.
5 could be to get a whole new 5.
Yeah,
Then that's 5 minutes of working out these jokes.
Yeah.
And say, okay, I got.
also, I don't want people to think that I did that like regularly.
Right.
Every now and then I get lucky, but other times you'd be working out the same 2 minutes worth of jokes that don't want to. It's just not funny for like 6 months. I'm just stuck on these 2 minutes. I'm like, bro,
Damn. And care about it that much that you continue to come back to it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm never gonna forget. I feel like I feel like that hour I did on Netflix.
Mhm.
I feel like that hour took me like 5 years to make.
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of those jokes I thought of maybe like the week before, and I'm like, yo, this is working. I'm gonna throw it in.
Right.
I was talking to that comedian Mark Norman. I look up to him a lot. That dude, I feel like it's
I
another.
don't know. Google Mark Norman for me.
I feel like that's another like pure joke writer, real jokey joke, you know. And I was asking him, I was like, what do you? How do you choose what you put in your special? Like, and him and what a lot of comedians will tell you is like, put all your strongest material in there, whatever the funniest stuff in, and don't hold nothing back, don't save nothing. Like whatever your funniest stuff is, just put it out there. And he's like, even if it's a brand new joke, if it's working,
Try
like,
it.
man, just throw it in. So like a week before the special, there's maybe about 10-ish minutes that,
Oh, wow.
that I wrote like a week before, but I'm like, man, it's working.
Did you get a chance to try it out in front of some people?
Yeah.
Okay.
For like
so
a week.
Small tryout though.
Yeah. But I'm like, good enough. Fuck it. Like,
Right. like this is it.
I did 2 shows a night every night for like a week leading up to the special.
Right.
So it was like enough
And get a
time
chance to
really,
fine tune it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, it's working. Like it's if if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. I wanted to play it safe and just do battle tested material, whatever you want to call
Right.
it. Like just do jokes that work. Just do the jokes, But man, that take the fun out of it.
Right. Yeah. And plus that spontaneity, it almost felt improvisational too, and like spontaneous too.
Yeah.
Being that you hadn't held on to it for 6 months and like, oh, I know this is gonna kill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not with a lot of the comics that I watch.
Right.
But I feel like being a comic and knowing so many comics, I think it's safe to say a lot of the funniest comics out there maybe go by that kind of like formula, like do the jokes that work, but also remember to have fun with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey man, present day, and I got to bring up the George Lopez thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
When you saw George Lopez doing his podcast, and it was raw, and he was like, F that guy. They was trying to give you your props. George is a friend of the neighborhood as well. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't like trying to.
I like how you
nothing.
throw that in there. Like, be careful what you say, though.
No. Say what you're gonna say.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
just saying I'm not trying to create nothing because that's what I don't do. I build relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you saw George Lopez reaction to your name, being a comedian, also, man, and I don't know if there was a look up to. I didn't go down a rabbit hole. I don't know if you looked up to George, whatever. What did that, as a comedian, just as a person that's getting on? How did you feel about that?
I was like, what's this dude's deal?
Yeah.
But I also didn't take it too personal. I feel like you could have put anybody's name, like whoever he brought up in that podcast over and over again, I feel like he would have got slammed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I also I didn't think about it at the time. I didn't think about it till maybe like a few days after that.
Did people get you upset?
Nah.
You know how sometimes it'd be other people, you'd be like, oh,
Fire
man.
you
Then they'd be
up.
like, man, you hear what such and such? I'm like, what? What the fuck?
I feel like I don't know. It made me upset when I saw people in the comments hyping up that dude Steve Trevino, like the days afterwards. Not right away, but after a few days, I'm like, they're giving this dude credit. Like, if he helped me out, like, I've never met that man in my life. And the dude was like, it's up to us, George.
Right.
It's up to us, George, to help the Ralph
bring
Barbosas of the world. And I was like,
Usher in the next ones.
hey, that's pretty cool. But then I was like, wait, he's never helped me.
Right.
I never met that guy.
Right.
And I mean, maybe he was. I don't know if he was
Like,
planning on helping me.
He wasn't in the gym with me. you
Yeah,
know?
like I don't know if he was planning on helping me or what he meant by that.
Right.
But I don't know, man. Like all I ever wanted out of comedy was to tour,
Yeah.
be on the road and stuff. And by the time that podcast came out, my whole year was already booked up. So when he was like, we gotta help him out, I'm like, bro, like I don't know. It's like if you're like, we gotta help him get this mortgage loan, but like I have a house, like
Right, yeah.
I'm good.
You explain that very well. Like, dude, I'm in my crib.
yeah, like
Yeah.
So I thought that was weird that he kept like,
Right.
I'm not like you, George. I help people and like, but I did think it was kind of mean or whatever that George was like, who's that dude? Fuck him. Don't say his name. But I mean, George did apologize.
Yeah. So y'all had a conversation via phone
he
or
called me on
something?
the phone.
Yeah.
He called me on the phone. He got my number from this dude Edwin in Kona, and he was like,
He didn't get it from Trevino, Steve Trevino?
Nah.
Your mentor?
Got it from my sensei.
Yeah. Sensei. Wow. And so he called you up. Do you see that you accept the call right away? Do you know it's George Lopez?
Yeah, I got a heads up.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When they told me he was gonna call, I was feeling myself.
Right.
I was like, let me get ready, man. I cut up a little cigar, and
Right. Yeah.
took a shower real quick.
Yeah.
Got ready.
Took a couple drags and flicked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So private conversation, but were y'all able to have that conversation and
Yeah.
and then you a man, you move your way, he'll move his.
Yeah, he was like, he's like, hey man, he's like, it's me, it's George Lopez. I was like, oh shit, I didn't think he would actually come.
Right. Yeah.
He was just like, yeah, and then he was like, it's me, man, it's George. I was like, what the fuck? And then he was just like, hey man, I need you to listen. Like, I was like, my bad, man. I'm sorry, I just keep cussing at you like that.
Right. So
like,
you were really saying what the fuck?
Yeah,
what
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
yeah, I'm not. This is not like in my head. I'm like saying, I'm like, oh fuck, like this
Right.
is actually on the phone with me right now. He was just like, nah, man, just I gotta apologize. I said, I don't think you gotta apologize, man. It's your podcast. Say what you want. You paid for the equipment,
Right.
I don't care what you say. Comedians talk a lot of mess on podcasts all the time, bro. Like we're gonna hold them all accountable. Like you're gonna be working for years. But he was like, nah, I should apologize. He's like, I asked around about you. You're a funny dude, man, hard worker or whatever. And he's like, now you have my number. He's like, if you ever do need help, just hit me up. And I was like, I appreciate it, man. You taking the time to do all that. I said, I'm sorry that so many people are saying so many mean things in all your comments. And he was like, it's no big deal. I've dealt with worse, But in my head, I was like, no, you had.
Like, oh, George, this is bad. Right?
You've had Instagram for like 10 years. Like,
Right.
I haven't seen it get this bad for you.
Right.
Unless they just used to mail him a lot of hate mail. I don't know.
Hey man, but that's what I was saying. Like y'all can coexist. It wasn't like nobody really ushered you in.
Nah, I wasn't into George Lopez. I'll be honest, man. This is probably the big part that I really didn't like. I've always respected George Lopez as a comic, and I do believe that like that's one of the greats, man. He really made a big impact, and I just didn't grow up on his comedy. Like
Right.
I didn't get into his comedy, man. And people, I've said that stuff on podcasts before, and people even my age will get mad. They're like, bro, don't act like we didn't grow up on his show. I don't think we did. I think there was nothing else to watch at 2 a.m. I think it's not like we were really hung up on the episodes. Like, yo, you think Carmen's gonna come back next episode? Like,
This motherfucker.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just he was a part of life or whatever, sure, but I wasn't that into him. So
And
when
then
he was,
if it wasn't yours, like I get people that'll say, "Oh man, such and such Tupac," and then there'd be somebody else say, "You know what? No disrespect, but I didn't grow up on Tupac."
yeah.
They'll say that, and then but we try to throw these other things on them, like, "No, you supposed to," and they like, "I didn't grow up," and sometimes you got to think like, "Damn, they didn't." And you probably didn't grow up on George Lopez. You probably didn't watch the shows. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't your brand of comedian. And I don't think that makes you a hater or, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, yeah. So I wasn't really all that into him. And then when I started doing comedy, sometimes people would be like, oh, man, he's like, who do you look up to? George Lopez? You trying to be the next George Lopez?
Right.
And I'm like, bro, I feel like if you watch my comedy, I don't think it's like George's. And from the beginning, I would try my best not to be like that type of like Latin comic or whatever.
Right.
It's like what's that saying? Like there's like Latin comics and then there's comedians who are Latin or whatever. I just wanted to be very unique to myself. I tried my best not to make comedy that was associated with like George Lopez's style.
Right.
But then I didn't want to be associated to his name like that. But then he went on the podcast and said all that mean stuff about me, and now I have no choice but to be associated with Lopez's name.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Why did you take sort of a higher road? Because you already had your shows
say I
booked.
took a higher road. I just took a road.
Right.
If it happened to be higher, then so be it.
Right.
But I made a whole video where I made him Carlito in Carlito's Way, and I was Benny Blanco from the Bronx. So I don't really think that was much of a higher road.
But also, man, it's like, what am I supposed to do? Not defend myself too.
Yeah, you gotta say something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like shooting yourself in the foot maybe is not the right term for it. But George did. I didn't tell them to bring up my name on there. Like they brought up my name. George said what he said and got people mad like himself. But man, in that one book, The Prince or whatever, that Machiavelli, The Prince, it's like it says something about like when you take over a new country, you gotta hold the old king's head and let him know what you're gonna do next, right? Let him know your plans or whatever. Like, I don't feel like I cut off George's head. Maybe he cut it off himself, but I did happen to like pick it up and be like, hey. So I feel like that video.
You know what we have here? Yeah, man.
I was like, hey, I didn't cut it off, but by the way, now that I have it, like,
check out my special.
Yeah.
Why did you name the special Cowabunga?
I think it's a cool word.
Yeah.
Are you like a big Simpsons fan?
Yeah.
I like the Simpsons a lot. I
Do
love
you have
the
a Simpsons tattoo?
I have 2 Simpsons tattoos. I don't know if you want me to show you.
Yeah, if you can. If
I'll put it to the microphone.
Yeah, right. We got cameras right here. What do you have?
Okay, so this was my first tattoo ever. It's a Krusty the Clown. It's actually like the doll, like from the, I don't know, it's the episode from A Treehouse of Horror where the doll's like possessed. And then the other one, it's like the Pink Floyd album cover.
Right. With Homer.
With Homer shaking hands with Homer, but one of the Homers is on fire. And the other one's like drooling, like half asleep.
Did you watch a lot of Simpsons?
Yeah.
That was your show?
Yeah. We didn't have cable for a long time. We had like that. It was like 30 channels on our kitchen on this little mini TV. So sometimes after school, when like my grandpa would get home, we'll eat and watch TV. So we had like 2 Spanish channels and like CW33.
Yeah, man.
Was the only English one. So like Simpsons would come on. I loved Reba, According to Jim. Those were my shows.
Can you sing the Reba theme song?
No.
He is in his head.
Yeah, in my
He
head.
will in the car. He'll sing it in the car. And then he'll get away and be like, man, I'm so glad I didn't sing that. I wanted to.
I'm a survivor. That's how it ends.
Ralph, we get this all the time, man. Tacos right here in California, really LA. And you hear people that say, oh, well, Texas got better tacos than California. Are we going broad stroke with Texas? Are we going broad? We going to Dallas? We going to
LA.
To Houston? I know LA. Have you had tacos here?
I have.
All righty.
I've been on a taco tour here.
Really though?
Yeah.
Dope.
Comedian Jesus Trejo one time took me like on this 4 taco run within 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
It's back-to-back tacos. But I've also had just several tacos. Every time I come here, I try a different taco spot.
Really? What's better to you? In LA?
LA to Dallas,
Yeah.
LA's had the better tacos.
Really
On
though?
average.
Go ahead now.
Not to say we don't have good tacos, but
well,
y'all have
you just said we had better tacos.
Yeah.
more often.
What do you mean?
There's easier to find good tacos in LA than it is in Dallas. In Dallas, there's like 2 or 3 spots that
well,
aren't
you
in
got to
popping.
open one. You got to open one. You know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
I don't need that
Influenced by
pressure.
Cali.
Where they
man.
do barbers? Where they cut hair, paint cars,
Get a
and do
little hair in
tacos?
there.
Hell yeah!
This is like a whole cancer facility.
Right.
That sounds like
Hell yeah! Got to wear your mask for real, for real. So LA,
LA definitely has better tacos on average, man.
man, you got to go out with Jose, man. Have one of his adventures with him. This is
I'm
my
down.
man Jose LA, man. Lifestyle and adventures. Jose, what you say?
But
He would definitely put 10 pounds on you in 4 days. Easy.
all right.
So, like a holdable 10 pounds.
when it comes to other stuff, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Like,
You just trying to get back for home.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
to.
what's
It's
better
hard.
in
It's hard.
Dallas?
It was hard to find good barbecue out here, good steak.
Oh,
good
you
fried
crazy as hell.
chicken.
We got what?
Yeah, I've had. I don't know, man. I've had some.
Hey, dude, when we finish this interview, I'm going to give you a guest bulletproof vest. I'm going to take you over to this spot.
Okay.
Where we're going to have some fried chicken at.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Really, I can't front on Dallas either because Dallas, yeah, there's just spots too. Texas alone that got good ass food. Like I eat very well in Texas.
Very, very. The cholesterol heavy foods. That's the ones that I like the most.
Yeah, man.
And that's where y'all are lacking out here.
Really?
Yeah.
All these fat fucks walking around here.
Not fat enough.
I was 500 pounds, bro. You think I got 500 pounds on organic lettuce?
See, that's the key word, big boy. Word.
Yeah, man.
You
I
were
know
500
how.
pounds.
I know where they at. I know where all the bodies are buried.
If you were living in Texas, you would have never lost that weight.
If I was living in Texas, I wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, we'd be like, y'all remember Big Boy?
Yeah. Man, he had like Big Boy from the radio.
Big
like,
Boy
yeah,
used
man.
to eat good.
He gave it all to the game, bro. He gave it all to the game. But nah, man, literally, man, I'll still go places and I gotta hit like, I gotta get out of the hotel. I ask people, man, where do you eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go to hoods to eat. Like, where do you, like, I walk in places, be like, what you doing here? I'm like, man, what you doing here? I'm eating.
That's how I'm spoiled by comedy. I have a whole audience of people every week, and I'm like, where are the spots?
Yes, where you go?
Where are the spots?
Where you go? Do you ever have people that try to invite you to their houses to eat?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone?
Nah.
I was gonna probably say no when he said, yeah, that's weird.
Well, you never know. He could have gone one time, and that
time.
could have been that one time.
Yeah.
One time when I was like before any of this happened, right? I was still very much a local person.
Right.
There were these
this was
people.
what, last year? No.
This was very early last year. There were people in like a couple other cities that would come out anytime I was in town, and I went to eat with some of them before,
Right.
and even that was kind of weird.
Right.
Like even meeting them in public, I don't know. I'm not that much of a social person.
Really though. What do you do after the show? You just go back to the hotel?
It's up to like my friends. I definitely bring my friends with me.
Okay, you got buddies here
Yeah.
in town now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel with people that seen you through the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
dope.
And it makes it funner, man.
Hell yeah.
Way funner.
Did you ever feel like we made it?
Yeah. I hope they do.
Yeah, that's what I would do with my homie, man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, man, we made it. Like when I got on radio, look, Jose. You know what I'm saying? You're like, we made it. You know what I'm saying? I love when Jose brings something to me. It's like, hey, big, they wanted you to have this. And then I look, he wearing the same thing. I'm like, what the like they wanted me to have it, but yeah, I'm here.
I usually bring like 3 or 4 guys with me. So when people are giving me free stuff, and then they're big dudes,
yeah.
so I'm like, you got 2, 3 XLs and another L. Like,
Yeah, man.
I'm dressing up the whole family.
Hey, man, you should have saw when I was at my bigger days, too. People would bring me a shirt, and I'd be like, man, what I'm going to do is clean my rims? You know what I'm saying? I was an 8X shirt. Like, nah, big, is this you? Like, extra large? Like, hell no. Like, man, so you got the big homies rolling with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, man. That's good. And keep that tight circle around you, bro. Because you see how ridiculous this business can get now, too, though.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure. We've also had like our fair share of just like drunk run-ins. We've had like just drunken fans try to run up on us.
Yeah, man. Oh, so yeah. You got to have people that love you.
Yeah.
That love you. Have you got into a fist fight on the road yet?
Yeah.
Oh. You was like, yeah, babe.
Yeah. We had to stomp out a few guys here and there.
All right, well, we let that be. You know what I'm saying? Because that night it was just a regular ass whooping. Now it's a frivolous lawsuit. How do you feel about that whole cancel culture, man? Because now,
I don't like that
Okay.
stuff. If you don't like what somebody's saying, don't listen.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. It's crazy, man, that most people that would try to cancel someone aren't a fan of that person.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if I'm at a comedy show and I paid to see someone, I'm paying because I want to see. Now, if somebody says something crazy, all right, cool. But it seems like people just jump on this bandwagon where it's even in your head now, Ralph, like, man, can I say this? Like, there's times, like, I got old material from just our show that would not survive today. That, over because the climate was different.
I don't think anybody should be punished for something they say, just like spirit of the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also don't think a lot of comedians should take it too far. Like, not that a lot of comics do, but there are a handful of comedians that sometimes want to be offensive for the sake of being offensive.
Yeah.
So maybe in my head when I'm trying to think of something funny, I'm not like trying to tiptoe or like walk on eggshells. But I do got to remember, like, my number one priority is to be funny. If it happens to offend, well, fuck it. But
right, but you're not going for the offense.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know, but to each their own, man.
Ralph, you mentioned that you are a fan of Adam Sandler. Can you give me your top 3 favorite Adam Sandler movies?
Oh, that's tough.
Or any movie that he also like produced too.
I think my number one Adam Sandler movie, just because I'm a dad, maybe Big Daddy.
Oh my God.
When I was growing up, my number one, which moved to number 2, is probably Little Nicky.
Oh my God.
Little-
Popeyes chicken.
Yeah.
Awesome. that's me and Exhibit thing. Exhibit to call me like Big. Like, what's up, X? Yeah. Then they go, Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome. Yeah, man.
I took that movie on my portable DVD. My grandma used to take me to Mexico every summer. And I would take it on my portable DVD player and show it to all my cousins. I never once translated to like Spanish or nothing. I don't even know if I had the option.
Right.
All my cousins love Adam Sandler because of that.
Right.
They
How funny.
love Little Nicky. They taught them English.
That's that learn. Yeah, I was about to say that's how they learn English, man. You ever seen Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo, which was an Adam Sandler production?
Mm-hmm.
You know I was the big lady in that movie.
Nuh-uh, for real?
Have you ever seen the movie?
I saw that movie in theaters when I was a kid. My uncle
Okay,
took
but
me to
you haven't
watch
went
it.
back and watched it.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
I'ma
go back and watch it. And you know the big lady that's laying in the bed that, did you say steak? You probably don't remember, but that's me.
When you said that,
Yeah.
I feel like it's triggered
Right.
memories.
It is my pleasure to have you in the neighborhood, bro.
Oh,
And I've
pleasure's
been
all
waiting
mine.
on this one, bro. Believe that. And once again, Cowabunga, Netflix available for you now.
keep it.
Make sure you guys check that out, man. And I'm telling you, man, it felt like a quick hour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It felt like a quick hour, bro.
Definitely felt like
And-
a good 48 minutes.
Yeah, is that what your
Nah.
TRT? You're like, I gotta get an hour. When you go and do something for Netflix for an hour, are you specifically to an hour, or do you go hour 10, hour?
I think you can record as much as you want, but
Okay,
they
it's
did
that
say
edit.
they want 55 minutes to an hour.
Edit
So-
it down, total running time.
Yeah.
What are you on hip hop right now?
Hip hop?
Yeah, man.
Right now, man, because every week is a little different.
Okay.
Right now, I'm on like some 90s, early 2000s vibe, like some Jay-Z, Hard
Mhm.
Knock Volume 2. Is that what it's called? Yeah. My bad, man. I don't be checking the name
Right.
sometimes,
Yeah,
but I like.
you just say
It's
Jay-Z.
it's that album where he has that song with Too Short. He's like, it was all cool just a week ago.
Hey, man, how do you at 27? How do you know that?
My dad used to love
okay.
Jay-Z.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, man, and what about with OT right now?
OT's cool as hell. I like OT songs a lot too, man.
Hey, man,
That dude's good people.
That dude is a beast.
That dude's a beast.
You know
yeah.
what I love about him too? He's him.
Yeah. 100%
You-
himself, yeah.
And you get that from him. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's funny, but lyrically, dude, go. And I don't see how you cannot like that Mexican OT.
He's from if I'm not mistaken, he's from like Bay City, which is near Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know what's all in the water, the air down there, and the humidity, but that whole area just produces some of in my opinion, some of the greatest rappers ever, man.
Hey, man, and not only that, they got a different twang. You know what I'm saying? Everything, man. What you
Yeah.
driving right now?
I got a few cars, man.
Okay, yeah. Anything old that you not that you painted, because I know you
I'll
painted
tell you,
before.
my all-time favorite one. This was like my dream car, and I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's a boring car," but if you know cars, you know this car. My all-time favorite one is a 1996 Super Sport Impala. I bought it with 2,000 original miles. It looks like it came right out the factory.
You still got it?
Yeah, I'm never gonna get rid of that. That's been my dream car since I was like 12. I got an 87 Monte Carlo, but it's a
Okay.
luxury sport. I wanted a super sport, but I got a luxury sport.
Did you paint them yourself, or you knew where to get them painted?
No,
at?
no,
You know
no.
what you like.
I haven't even owned them that long.
Oh,
This
really
is new
though?
money, big boy.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah, that is true. You're like, man, remember, man, I was doing small child support. Like, yeah, man, I'm a Cadillac man.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I wanna
I
give
got
me
a
a Cadillac.
78 that's it's almost ready to roll.
What color is it?
Yeah, man, it's like this burgundy-ish, like
Ooh,
it's
nice.
beautiful, man. But yeah, I got it from out of town, out of state.
Nice.
A garage
You were
find.
looking for it for a while?
Yeah. We found it too.
That's
We
nice.
found it, bro. So yeah, man, it's sprayed up right, and they took everything off to hit it the right way.
You got to
so-
enjoy the journey of how you get that car.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I had a head start. You know
Yeah?
what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
found it right.
Nice.
But just getting it all the way down to the metal and working on it, man, it's nothing like it.
I found my car before I was able to buy it. It landed in my lap, but I wasn't able to like get it. There's a dude that goes to the barbershop, and he's always dealing with like old school Chevys. He has a monster collection. He has like 454 Super Sports and tons of. He had a few Monte Carlos, and I remember one day he's at the shop and he's showing my barber because we get our haircut from the same dude, one of the owners. He's showing them the pictures of the 96 that he just bought. He's like, man, it doesn't even have 2,000 miles yet. Like it's like right under that, you know what I mean? And my barber calls me over. He's like, man, check it out. He's like, you like these, don't you? I was like, yeah. And I was like, man, you bought that car? He's like, yeah. I was like, you want to sell it? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna sell it. I said, don't sell it right now. I was like, hold it.
Now you start looking at your calendar.
Yeah. Nah, but I mean, this is like before I had any type of heat on my name. Like,
oh wow.
This is when I'm still like late on booth rent. My barber's even talking like shit to me. He's like, how you gonna buy a car? You owe me booth rent, bro. Like I'm like, hold it. At least give me a year. I was like, give me 1 year. I was like, I feel like comedy will take off soon. Give me 1 year and I'll buy it. And
in the barber shop.
Yeah.
You say give me 1 year in the barber shop because comedy gonna take off for me.
Yeah. And it was like March 1st I bought that car. It was like on the year mark.
Damn.
Yeah,
of what year?
Of this year. I bought it in March.
Hey, man, so 2023, so last year you were in the barber shop?
2022?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would not have DM'd me at all last year in March.
And that's I need a haircut that you weren't going to show up to?
Yeah.
Ralph Barbosa, thank you for coming into the neighborhood, man. Y'all give it up one more time. Ralph Barbosa in the neighborhood. Cowabunga is available for you right now on Netflix. Check it out. Big Boy's Neighborhood.